Kamen Rider, the show that made me who I am today. Hello, Knight Rider 7602, and I'm gonna be doing a little bit on Kamen Rider, a short, quick history on it. Kamen Rider started in a long time ago, I think about early 60s, 70s, and it was like the big brother to the Power Rangers, or Super Sentai as they were called in America. Um, I would like for a moment like to say my the original writers Ichigo and Nigo, who you can't see, but they're the oldest looking writers out there, and they were the best. I mean, the Showa writers, in my opinion, were the best. I mean, some of the Heisei writers were okay. A few just confused me, decayed, and then there were shows that I will never have to watch again. But you know how Kamen Rider had shows in America? You know, the one Dragon Knight and the adaptations of the original two? Guess what I found out? This is the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life. There was a second Kamen Rider series in America. When I heard about this, I looked it up. But sadly enough, I talked to a good friend of mine, and he said, that show, you shall never watch that show. You must never watch that show. It's taboo. And I'm asking myself, what's so taboo about this show? I mean, the show does take the English version naming of the series. They called it Mask Rider. A lot of people are like, what's wrong with Mask Rider? Okay, let's start Mask Rider. And it's by, Saban, who did the Power Rangers and all that. Go fake. Okay, Saban's Mask Rider, in my opinion, I watched only one episode, and from what I've seen, stupid. It sucks. This is supposed to be like the Americanized version of Black RX. If it's supposed to be Black RX, why couldn't you just put Mask Rider RX or Mask Rider Black RX? That makes no sense. Plus the wording's off for attacks. Like for instance, the saber is called Revolcane, and in this series he calls it Electro Saber. And what's with the guy? What's his name? Dex. What is with his voice? I must stop this guy. Seriously? That guy's voice sounds so annoying. And I watched the series once. It had one of my favorite villains, Shadow Moon, but it had one of the most stupidest concepts ever. Basically, the guy Dex is an alien sent to Earth to stop the insectivores from Count Dragon, blah blah blah, gets adopted by an interracial family. Same plot to Black RX. Except the fact that the original Black RX didn't have superpowers. Yeah, that's my main gripe with it. And plus, he has no friends. Ha! Dex has no friends, but Kotaro does. Score one for Japan. Ding. And they also had the Shore Riders, but they actually mixed it up. They screwed everything up. I watched a clip, and Nigo wasn't in it. Rider Man wasn't in it. And I think Super One wasn't in it. I don't know. But leaving crap and going to at least something better was Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. This was the first series I've actually watched when I was younger. In 2005, this show came out, and this was kind of amazing. This was like Power Rangers for teenagers. Basically, the story follows the Kamen Rider Ryuki, where there's a mirror world, and there are 13 Avan Riders who are from Vintara. It's just like an alien world. At least the alien concept isn't stupid, as with Mask Rider. And they're trying to protect the world from, what's his name, Xaviax? Now, this is the first kind of show I've seen, and when I first watched it, this got me interested. This sparked Kamen Rider for me. I looked up everything on Kamen Rider, I looked it up, I found out there was Japanese versions of every show I've heard of. I'm like, oh wow, there's a Japanese version for Dragon Knight, and there was a Americanized version for Black RX. I never heard of it yet. But later on, I decided to look through Kamen Rider history. Now, I love Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. It was okay. Plus, if you ever played a game and you ever play Strike, you win because you get Vic Moranga, the guy who plays Full Metal Alchemist, Edward Elric. He's Kamen Rider Strike in the game. Epic win. Epic win. But there are some debates on Kamen Rider. I wanted to point out a few debates that the Kamen Rider fan universe had. Excuse me, I've been itching all over the place. But, Mask Rider, Dragon Knight, Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, at least they have it right, Kamen Rider. But, for, yeah, here's my point. Rider Man. Everybody's like, Rider Man isn't a real rider. A real Kamen Rider. True, he lacks the abilities of the other riders before him, but he was the sidekick to V3. I do say he would have made a good addition in Kamen Rider the Next, the adaptation. I want to see what his costume looked like. That'd probably been Beast. But everybody's like, oh, he's not a real rider. Though they do say he's actually a real rider who came up with Rider Shot and Rider Slash. I'm like, well, okay, let's see. Let's take a look at the costume. The costume has at least a decent belt. The eyes look Kamen Rider-ish. The armor plating looks okay. I say he passes for a rider at least. I mean, at times he doesn't look like it, but at times others. But another debate is whether is Tackle considered a Kamen Rider? She was in Kamen Rider Stronger. Stronger. Um, Now everybody's like, oh, Tackle. I don't think she's in a rider because the costume looks kind of odd. It's not even Kamen Rider-ish. It's true. It doesn't. I never seen Kamen Rider's eyes completely visible in a henshin form without the helmet being taken off. And this is. Oh wait, my friend's online. Maybe he can help me out here with this. Hold up. Never mind. He's on, but it takes time for him to enter. I don't think Tackle passes as a rider. I mean, simply because the eyes showing, and it's just like she's wearing a ski cap and a ladybug hat and a red. I mean, she doesn't look like she has armoring. Doesn't look like she has armoring. And that's all I have to say for Tackle. Another person I would like to discuss in the Kamen Rider universe would be my opinion, not the best rider in the universe, Kamen Rider Shin. Why? Because Shin Rider is the only rider that does not look like a rider. And this guy's he looks like an alien. And majority, it's like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, it's supposed to be Kamen Rider for an older audience, but no. This guy's finisher is ripping monsters' heads off. Are you serious? And plus, he emaciates a professor for killing his pregnant girlfriend. Okay, well, that guy had it coming. But he doesn't look like a Kamen Rider, though. I mean, no sparks flying where he gets hit. He gets slashed. He gets bled all over the universe. And, I'm gonna throw in a lifeline here real quick for, Shen. And I'm typing into my friend. I'm typing it in. And I'm asking him if he's a real rider. No, he doesn't ride a motorcycle. He doesn't have a helmet. He doesn't have a belt. In my opinion, he is not a rider. You don't go ripping monsters' heads off like an insane guy. That's really scary. But on from the scariest looking guy to one of my personal favorite riders, Kamen Rider Amazon. Oh my gosh, I love this guy. He's one of my favorite Kamen Riders. Why? He's the first rider to break the whole bug look. He has the piranha thing going. He has like a piranha thing going. Hold on. And his finisher is like not a kick, but he chops, and he also emaciates his opponents too by ripping body parts off. Like the last guy, he cuts both his arms off, then his head, then dances around the corpse, and he bites people. Which reminds me of my friend. She bites people a lot. But I just love this guy. He's just epic in every single way. Like, and every time he beats down like a monster, blood's flying everywhere. You're like, dang, dude. He's like emaciating his opponents with blood and stuff and claws. But there's also a writer that I would like to have a word with. This is the one writer I don't think looks like a Kamen Rider either. That's Hibiki. Just by the costume and look, Hibiki does not look like a real writer. None of these writers from Hibiki look like a real writer. And you're asking yourself, whoa, like, what do you mean he's not a real writer? He rides a motorcycle and he has a belt. Really? He does not have a belt. The thing is, with Hibiki, he does not have a rider's kick, or punch, or slash, or toss, or whatever. His main weapons are drumsticks. Yes, I know. I'm perfectly aware he breathes fired. The drumsticks, like throws fire. The drumsticks blow fire. Blah blah blah. But still not the best rider. And then there's some like Zanaki who, in my opinion, is not. He doesn't look like a rider. His weapon's a guitar. Kamen Rider Zanaki. He is the first guitar hero. And my friend just texted me back about Shin. It turns out he counts as a Kamen Rider. Go fake. Well, that's all I have to say for Kamen Rider, Hibiki, and the others. But it's a fun ride. Love the show. You have to see it sometimes. Watch Heisei through. No, show up through Heisei if you can. Knight Rider 7602 signing out.